What was the reason for the last time you cried? I'm having a hard time accepting my home situation. I'm scared things will never change. You are not alone. Thank you /U0001 fact 2. Wife died 2 years ago. Sometimes death scenes in TV and movies trigger me. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm really sorry that you're going through that. I lost my daughter, she died suddenly of anaphylaxis. I used to get triggered by ambulances and kids eating. That actually got better with time. There are movies that trigger me as well. I just go to another room. Also, I have new neighbors with a 4-year-old daughter that looks like mine. So I planted a tree so I can't see her play in her yard from my house. It makes me sad because it reminds me of my daughter and what I'm missing. She is really sweet and she sometimes comes to my front yard. It's still really hard for me. I have to smile and be kind, but I'm crying on the inside because I miss my daughter so much. We experienced people have to be good to each other. It's okay to grieve and carefully navigate life. It doesn't matter if other people don't get it. My neighbor doesn't like the tree and wants me to cut it down. Son's funeral. Just lost my little brother. Sending virtual hugs /U0001 faf 6. I lost mine 3 years ago this December, sending hugs to you both. This is going to sound so childish and lame, but I, 28 meters, was sitting in bed after a long day of work. Super rough. Got hurt a bunch and all in all just a bad day last Monday. My fiancée, 39F, came walking in from getting home from work and just seeing her face made me cry in the best way possible. It was just another moment that felt like seeing her again for the very first time. After a rough few years for us both, I always liked the saying to her about how she brings me the same warmth and peace similar to when you're driving through a storm and you happen to go under a bridge or underpass, and for a few minutes everything goes silent and you can see clearly. Just admiring how beautiful she was. And how lucky I'm to marry my best friend next month was enough to make me tear up and cry to the point I practically bear hugged her. This was the last thing to make me cry. Had to bury my Dobie in the backyard December 23rd. No vets were accepting clients due to COVID. No other choice but to bury my best bud under cold dirt. Yeah, my eyes leaked pretty good that morning. Family member is helping her dog cross the bridge today. Love the dog like they were my own. Devastated I can't be there. Crying now. Cried an hour ago. Cried this morning. Makes a nice break from crying about my ex destroying my life and cheating on me with a home-wrecking cunt. I'm depressed and I cry for no reason. Well, I feel this in my teary soul. I am worried about my oldest child. Pretty serious stuff going on. I'm so sorry. I really hope everything works out. However it can. With your oldest, we don't know each other, but you will be in my thoughts. Thank you so much. You don't know how much that means. My dog dying. I'm not ashamed at all to admit as a grown man. I've cried every time I've lost a dog in my life. It never gets easier. Just had to have my cat put down after 20 years of friendship. I'm so sorry. I feel for you. 2023. Lost my parents. Both with 7 months of each other. So sorry for your loss. I lost my mum in April and then my nan 2 months after. I'm still a mess. Cannot even imagine what losing both parents would be like. My job paid me less than I anticipated due to an error and I couldn't pay my bills. Call your labor board. They have to pay you now. I had a miscarriage. That's gut-wrenching. I thought I would literally die of a broken heart. My sympathy to you. That ad that starts like a Target back to school commercial but becomes a jetback. Extremely sharp commentary on school shootings. https://yao2 b/b5icnzl9mtq si=eqrxvtijh3oxpong. In one scene a girl tearfully texts, crouched in a bathroom stall. And we see her text, "I love you mom." Cut back to her and fake smile through tears. She says this new phone helps me keep in touch with my mom. And I burst into tears. I'm choked up now thinking about it. Every time it comes up I have to watch. I think it's brilliant in highlighting what is a grotesque and horrific stain on our modern society. Children are gunned down, and the best we can do is nothing, and we're all out of ideas. I've never been in a shooting, but I can feel what it must be like to be hunkered down behind a table, scared out of my mind, holding the hand of some kid I never met before, hearing distant gunshots and screams. I think any of us with half an empathetic brain cell are suffering a kind of helpless PTSD, and each time this happens the scab is picked afresh. I realize there's no easy solution, but I also realize my country is stupidly up in its own feels about the specter of being denied our F-kill sticks. I don't like children particularly, but I was one, and I have so many friends and family with kids. The fact that they hurt me has fuck all to do with my bottomless sadness at the idea of school shootings. I'm a gun owner, and that has a lot to do with feeling helpless against how armed and angry my countrymen are. Gun owner, yes, but also a massive supporter of gun control. Yes, there is irony and hypocrisy in there. If we ever got over our selfish, violent, immature but then only bad guys have guns bullshit and I had to give up my pistols for the sake of greater public security, I'd be fine with it, especially if it meant not having to hear about another school full of terrified kids, some wounded, some dead, and that's the reason. Photos on my phone of my husband that passed early this year. I'm sorry, I'm here. If you want to talk to someone, just reach out. When the vet called to give me my cat's test results, lymphoma. He is only 6. I lost my cat to lymphoma when she was 2. It was heartbreaking. She was such a sweet girl. I'm so sorry you are going through this. It's so hard. Listen to a song that made me think of my dead parents. I sometimes feel that I'm not doing enough for my parents as a son makes me feel utterly sad, and I've cried on few occasions at night just before sleep. I haven't cried for long any time recently. I wish I did, so I can free myself from my skin. Menopause. So dumb. Scrolled for this, wondering if anyone else posted this. I'm with you, but I haven't cried today though. I'm only 19, but I dread going through this one day. Sorry man. Women deal with so much in their bodies. Today, the love of my life and me broke things off in March. I didn't fight for him. I just existed around him after that. He is marrying his new boyfriend in December. I don't know why I didn't cut him off or try to get him back. I just pretended everything was okay. Now I'm a mess with the realization that he's gone forever. Yeah, those hurt. Here if you need a friend. The immense pain of no longer having my dog that I had for the past 17.5 years. So lonely without him around. I feel you. I know how this feels. My grandpa passed away. R.I.P. Grandpa. This morning, I'm really struggling financially and I'm behind on so many bills. Cest Larvae. Hello. I know this sounds weird and creepy, but if you'd like to DM your PayPal details, I'd like to help out. Even if just a little. That's so kind of you. I unfortunately don't have a PayPal, but even the thought of your help just made my day. Thank you. Someone who I thought to be my best friend turned out to be an extremely shitty person. This is the worst. Like having anyone be a shitty person to you is obviously shitty, but when it's someone you've let get so close to you, etc. I lost my best friend when she either stopped believing I was assaulted or stopped caring that I was assaulted. Not sure which would be worse, but she actually set up her new best friend with the guy, was the maid of honor in their wedding, and is the godmother to my abuser's kid. We are still friends on Facebook, but we don't talk much, if at all. Sorry to ramble, just been there, and I'm sorry it happened to you. I thought someone was mad at me about 4 hours ago. I had to put my dog to sleep in May. I broke my favorite cup, and it had sentimental value attached to it. I lost my card and ID between my car and my friend's car. No clue where it went in those 20 seconds. Cried out of frustration. BC certain small mistakes are a big deal to me. I heard the lyric "Do I have to die to hear you miss me?" and it just hit me wrong or something. Which song is that from? I realize the lyric might be in a romantic context, but I lost my little brother nearly 2 months ago, and I feel like I didn't tell him that I loved him or missed him nearly enough when he was still around to hear it. It's from One More Time by Blink 182. https://www.youtube.com/watch v equals fskqrdq3rkm. Which, if you know the history of those guys, a lot of the lyrics hit pretty close. Someone I used to be very close friends with committed suicide. We hadn't spoken in years, so I'm surprised it hit me like it did. A word of advice, if I may, talk it out. Doesn't have to be in therapy or with any professional, but there's a lot of complicated feelings, and they are all valid. Don't keep them bottled up or scold yourself for grieving. We hadn't talked in years. I don't have any right to feel. Other people are sadder about this. Close bracket. Even if it's just a conversation with a friend. Or, if you like, a rando on the internet, I'm always around. My dad passed away in 2009, but for some reason last night I thought of him and missed him so much that I just started crying. Grief has no respect for linear time. If I sit in silence for too long I start crying lol. The world is just so overwhelming. Grew up believing I didn't deserve to be loved, but my husband is so wonderful. He treats me well and shows me every day how much he loves me with actions. Not just words, but also words. My mother treated me and our son the same way she always would while raising me a couple days ago. She's putting a selfish need of hers before celebrating our son during a milestone of his. It hurt. I tried to repress the hurt and get over it. I tried to adopt the tough attitude of oh, just typical mom. She's like that. Should have known. No need to be disappointed if it's expected of her, right? But then over the next few days my husband was being his usual wonderful self, loving me and our son to his fullest abilities. That's why I cried on his shoulders a couple days ago. I feel so loved by him. He heals my inner child's wounds.